In this video, we are going to see how to concatenate two arrays. Hello, this is Jagan from growwithdata. I am posting this video to share my knowledge in Python language with you. If this assists you in your interview preparation anyways, I will be happy. Welcome to the 87th video of Python interview question series. I have created a playlist Python interview questions 51 to 100 and I will be tagging this video to that playlist. The code we discuss in this video will be posted on the GitHub and the link will be provided in the video description. Now let's see the sample input data and we can talk about the question in detail. So we are given a num array 1, 2 and 1. So what you want to do is you want to create an array result of length 2n. If it's 3, length is 3, you have to create an array of 2 times 3, this is 6, length of 6, where the nums of I, right? So if you see the result, like result should be the concatenation of this 1, 2 and 1. So it has to be 1 to 1 comma 1 to 1. So whatever the first element, the 0th element should match with the nth element. So this is 3, so 0 and 3 should match, 1 and 4 should match, 2 and 5 should match. So basically you just concatenate both back to back, right? So 1 to 1 and the same 1 to 1 will be here. So 1 to 3, then the output has to be 1 to 3, 1 to 3. You just join one's back and the front part of it. Okay, so when I saw this question, I thought it's a very simple question. I even thought it can going to take less than a minute to answer. But there are many ways to answer this and I learned few things during the process. So I thought I can share that with you. Okay, first when you see this, what you try? The normal looping logic, right? Let's go with the looping logic. We have this nums 1, 2 and we make it 1. So we go with the function def growwithdata. The nums is the input variable. You make a result as output variable. First you go and read every element in nums. You simply say the result dot append I. So it will read every element and then it will just append to the result. Same way you do it one more time. So when you return the result, it's going to concatenate the 1 to 1 again 1 to 1. So you do this, it becomes 1 to 1 and 1 to 1, right? So this is our first approach. So this is very basic, right? You just have a variable and then you do the looping logic twice. But when you see this, you exactly repeating this code. The 2 line of code is exactly repeating. So there should be a way, if you have this kind of codes, then better we, instead of duplicating the function, we can just do the repetition of this code. So how to do that? So after the result, I am going to have a variable loop equal to 2 because you are going to do it 2 times. While the loop is greater than 0, then you do this for loop. You don't have to do the second time. So once you are done with the first time, you just decrement minus equal to 1. So what happens? You just have the loop to be done in 2 times. So first time you'll check 2 is greater than 0. Yes. Then you repeat this loop. Read every element up until the result. And then you subtract or decrement 1 from 2. So it becomes 1. You go check if 1 is greater than 0. Yes, 1 is greater than 0. Then you again do this process. And then come and 1 minus 1 is 0. It go check is 0 greater than 0? No. So it stops. So instead of repeating this 2 times, I simply create a logic of looping the same function twice and then I'm doing it. When I run this, I find the same result 1 to 1, 1 to 1, right? Okay, so this is kind of simplified version of repeated codes. But do we really need to do it 2 times? No, right? So we simply can say first time when you say result equal to blank or null list, you simply say nums, right? So no need for loop. After this, you just do the second part of it. So first you consider the first copy and then you do the second one, which is going to be the second copy. So you get the same result. But why am I doing result equal to nums colon and colon? You know the variables, right? If it's a colon, the first one is the starting point, the second one is the end point. So if you have nums as this way, like 1 2 1 1 1, right? You have a bigger array. So if you have this, if you say nums of colon, you get the whole array. But if you say colon comma 4, then it will get 0 1 2 3. It will stop there. So the second parameter is what is the end position. The first parameter is where should it start, 2 to 4. So 0 1 will be filtered, 2 and 3 will be shown. You don't consider the last one. So 2 and 3 is 1 and 1. If you say 1, then 0 is filtered, 1 2 and 3. You'll have 2 1 1. So if you don't give it by default, it will take the whole list. That is okay. But why am I giving like this? Why can't I just give like this? If I have the result equal to nums and if I run the code, if you see this, it's running in loop, right? It's still running. So I have to stop it. So what is happening here? Why should I specifically say from 0 till the end and then copy that to result? What happens here is, if you do this assignment operation, right, result equal to nums, what happens is it's not copying the value of nums to the result. It directly copies the num, it is duplicated. It just replicate then whatever is nums, it just do the result. So result and nums are going to be the same now. I can just explain with an example. So if you do this colon, it just copies the value of nums to result. But if you say nums without this colon, then it refers to the result is going to refer to nums. It's not creating a new list. That's the problem. So let's do this. We say a equal to 1 2 and 3. We say b equal to a. Now if we say b, it says 1 2 3. If I say b dot append 4. So if I say b, it says 1 2 3 and 4, right? So b got 1 2 3 and then it just append 4 at the end. So it just 1 2 3 4. But what happens to a? A also shows 1 2 3 4. So what's happening? So b and a equal to a. So I change only b, but a is also getting affected. Same way, if I say a is like this, right? A equal to, you can say 9. So 1 2 3 9. Both a and b are showing us 1 2 3 9 because here b is referring to a. It's not getting the value from a. So b and a points to the same memory point. So you should not give like this. That's why you just get the value of a and assign that to b. Now if you change the value of a, b is not going to be affected. Sorry, the bracket is wrong. If you see, I append 9 to a, so only a get affected. B remains the same, right? So whenever you do that, you make sure you are not copying the variable, you are copying the value. So this is my third approach, right? So first approach, I did a complete looping logic, repeating the same code twice. And the second approach, instead of repeating the code, I did the while loop and then have the code once and do that loop 2 times. And third one, instead of doing 2 times, I just copy the value to the result first and then I do the looping logic and then I got the result. So these are the main looping conditions, right? Next, what you are going to do is we are going to create a 0 array and then you are going to manipulate it. So we have the nums as 1 to 1. This we can say approach 4. ROACH, okay, approach 4. Nums equal to 1 to 1. Def grow with data. Nums is the input variable. What I'm going to do is I'm first finding the length of nums, n equal to length of nums. I'm going to use that in more than one place. So I'm just having a variable to find the length. And then I say result as a 0 array and then I'm going to have the length of 2 times the length of the input array. So if you have print result, let's call the function and see what will happen to the result. So whatever the length, right, it's 3, so we are doing it 2 times 3, so 6. So you got 6 elements to the result variable. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the looping logic for I in range n. So it starts with 0, 1, 2. I'm just saying result of I equal to the input variables index position. Same way, result of I plus n. I plus n. N is the length of array, right? So same value. I'm getting the value and copying it in 2 positions. And if I run this, I have to return the value. TURN result. So I get the same result. So if you want to see what is happening, you can just have a print here, print of result. So first it takes 1 and copies to the ith position, the 0, 1 and the 0 plus n, which is 3. So 0 and 0, 1, 2, 3, it copies here. And read the second one, it copies second 2 to here and here. And third element is 1, so it copies 1 and 1. So it just copies in 2 places. So this one copies in 2 places. The same looping logic, both the update is done. So this is another simple way of doing it. I never thought about doing it, but it's a new approach for me. So it was kind of interesting. The next test we are going to see is an inbuilt function. We don't have to do all these circus values. We're simply going to do it in one function call. We're just going to say nums dot extend the nums. Oops. Nums return nums. Sorry, return nums. So what I'm doing, I have a inbuilt function called extend, which is going to extend whatever the input variable with the same value. So it will be 1 to 1 and extending the value to another 1 to 1. It's done. So why am I not giving directly here? So why I just call this and I'm doing it. I can give it this way, right? What happens is extend is not going to create a new array. It just overwrites the nums and then returns none. If you just see print this, then you can see it returns none. So if you assign any variable to this, if you say x equal to m dot 1, if you return x, nothing will be shown because we just say print x, print, it will just print none because the extend will override the nums. It just operate on nums and returns none. So you don't have to create any variable. You simply do that operation and then you return nums. So this is a two-step process, right? You just have the extension and then you return it. You can do that in a single process. Instead of doing extend, I can simply say nums plus nums. So whatever the array, you just add another array. That's it. Right? I don't have to do all this circus loops. I simply say nums plus nums. So here I am calling the nums twice. Even I can simplify this code much easier. I can say nums into 2. So do it 2 times. Done. Right? So you just use only once into 2, it's done. So if you want to test with more test cases, then you know how to use it. Just use the assert function and then you can call multiple values and then you can use it. So 1 to 1, it should be 1 to 1, 1 to 1. So 1 3 2 1, see 1 3 2 1, 1 3 2 1. You just append to it. You can just try with all the other test cases, it should be fine. So where we start, we just start with a repetitive code of for loop and then we used a while loop to reduce the repetition to one time code, and then instead of doing the looping logic, I created a variable, assign it directly and then do the looping process only once. So those 3 are the looping process. And then if you see this, I just create a result variable and then did a 0 array first. The 0 array length is going to be 2 times the length of the input array. And then I read every element from the input and then I just append in 2 places at the same time, I and I plus n, where n is the length of the input array. And further I can simplify this with using the extend function. So nums and extend nums will just append nums 2 times. But the problem is I can't directly say return the extend function because it will return none. For that I just use the arithmetic operation nums plus nums. Simply append both the arrays. Even then I can say nums into 2. The array into 2 is going to repeat the same way. So we have almost 7 approaches. There might be more than this, which might be simpler than this also. So this is the simplest of response I got, but there might be other ways also to answer this. So you can practice and see which one is easier for you. If you want to get this code, then you go to the Grow with Data YouTube channel playlist. This will be in the Python interview question series. There's a Tamil version also, Tamil Python interview questions. If you go to the playlist, you can see all the codes related to the Python interview questions. And in the description part, you have the GitHub link that will take you to the code base. And this video is 87th video, right? So that video will have this GitHub link where we have the first approach, for loop, and then using the while, and then a simplified approach, and then we have the 0 array and the extend function, arithmetic operation, and multiply by 2. So all these 7 approaches are here. You can just practice and see which one is easier for you. If you like this video, then you can join the WhatsApp channel. It's here. You can use this link and join Grow with Data WhatsApp channel. Hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.